Go ahead, guys.
Billy, just from the little we got to see, it looks very much like Markelle is the kind of player who, when he gets the ball in his hands, whatever the pace of the game might have been, he's going to make it what he wants it to be. Is that an accurate way to kind of...
I think his skill set, like his ball handling, his passing, his body balance, allows him to not get rushed. You know, as he gets into summer league games, which aren't real NBA games, but as he gets into summer league games against teams that have got guys that have played in some NBA games, we'll see how he's able to compose himself with that. But he has the skill set to be able to control pace. You're right on.
Do you tell any during these practices? I mean, that's obviously going to happen in the summer league and in real games. But do you tell guys to bump him at all to kind of see what he's got?
He's a #1 pick. We got players here that are trying to make teams. We don't have to say anything. It just happens. It just happens.
What do you learn? The summer league, obviously, most players aren't players.
Right.
They may be deep players.
Right.
What can you learn from the summer league with a guy like Fultz and players that will be on this team when they're not really playing against the same time?
Right. That's a great question. So let's go to the second part of it. The guys that are back from last year, you can evaluate how they were comfortable in summer league last year versus this year. Like, what has that year of NBA experience for Timmy Luwawu or an Alex Poitras looked like from one year to the next? With Markelle, honestly, Howard, a lot of it is like, how do they pick things up off the whiteboard? How do they handle it when they've got cameras all over them in an NBA type of setting? How do they practice around their teammates? Those are the things you pick up. I think if you try to over-evaluate it too much, you might walk out there with some misinformation.
What do you see from Melo Trimble over the last few days?
He's coachable. He's very coachable. He learned how to play off the ball. We've got a lot of guys, Jess, in this entire setting that dominated the ball when they were in college. You know, Isaiah Briscoe, Blackman, Melo. So learning how to play without the basketball in the NBA when you have other talented players is really important. We saw a willingness to learn that.
I was going to say, how do you, with so many ones and with Markelle able to play both, do you plan on trying them both positions, or how do you sort of approach that, Bill, in terms of where you'd like to use him?
It's easy to say positions, but for us, it's like if you initiate the action, bringing the ball up the floor, we would call any of those guys a one. So teaching them how to play conceptually and how to be organized, I think there will be possessions where Markelle will be in the game with Larry Drew, who's a dominant ball handler, and they're going to have to learn how to play with each other. And then there will be possessions where Markelle's probably the primary or dominant ball handler. But again, going back to what we talked about with Melo, they all have to learn how to play without the basketball.
Is that more? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that more important for Markelle, being that Brett obviously wants Simmons to be the point guard, for him to learn to play without the basketball?
I would say it's important for him regardless who he's on the court with, because if he's got Joel's going to want to touch the ball. Dario's shown himself able to initiate some offense. So regardless of the Ben-Markelle pairing, it's primary how we play anyway, with the ball really dictating the movement of the offense. He's got to learn it. Being with a guy like Ben that can handle it, it becomes really important that Markelle learns that balance. I think it's competitive for the team. It's just compete. Let's just go out and represent the Sixers brand and the Sixers logo, represent the city of Philadelphia, understand, what Philly basketball is, what we're trying to do here, which is build a brand of exciting basketball where guys pass and compete. And if we get that with a bunch of guys that don't know each other, they'll enjoy their 2 or 3 week experience.
Thanks, Billy.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Billy.